Ada was a beautiful and happy young lady from a Christian home. She was excited because Christmas was coming. She loved celebrating Christmas with her friends and family. One day, Ada got a call from her friend Amaka. Amaka was inviting Ada to join her and their friends on a visit to a luxurious mansion. The mansion was owned by a wealthy young man named Uche. Ada was tempted to join the trip. She had always wanted to visit a luxurious mansion. But her parents were not in support of her. Ada, we don't know much about Uche and his mansion, her mother said. Be careful who you associate with. Not everyone is as the same. Ada's father also warned her. Ada, remember that you are a Christian. Don't forget to pray and seek God's guidance in all you do. But Ada was stubborn. She wanted to have fun with her friends. She decided to join the trip without her parents' approval. Ada's mother was a prayerful woman. She always prayed for her children's safety and well-being. She prayed that Ada would make good decisions and avoid trouble. One night, Ada's mother woke her up to pray. Ada, let's pray together, she said. We need to ask God to protect and guide us. But Ada was sleepy. Mom, I'm tired, she said. I'll pray later. Her mother was disappointed. Ada, prayer is important, she said. It's how we communicate with God and seek His protection. But Ada didn't listen. She went back to sleep, ignoring her mother's warnings. The day of the visit arrived. Ada lied to her parents that she was going to see her friend and classmate who was sick and hospitalized. She quickly prepared and went to meet her friend Amaka, who gave her short party cloth to wear. They were excited to visit Uche's mansion. As they were there, Ada's mother called her. Ada, where are you? She asked. I've been praying for you, and I sense that something is wrong. But Ada was dismissive. Mom, I'm fine, she said. Don't worry about me. Her mother was not convinced. She continued to pray for Ada's safety. Ada and her friends were enjoying at Uche's mansion. It was luxurious and beautiful. They also enjoyed themselves with some drinks, but as they explored the mansion, they began to uncover dark secrets. They discovered evidence of ritual sacrifices and human trafficking. Ada was horrified. She realized that she had made a grave mistake by coming to the mansion. Amaka, what have we gotten ourselves into? Ada asked her friend. Amaka was scared. I don't know, she said. Let's get out of here. But it was too late. Uche and his friends had already planned to use them as human sacrifices. Uche revealed his true intentions. You girls are going to be our sacrifices, he said. You will make us rich and powerful. Ada and her friend were terrified. They tried to escape, but it was too late. Uche and his friends overpowered them. Meanwhile, Ada's mother was praying fervently for her daughter's safety. She sensed that something was wrong and cried out to God for help. God, please protect my daughter, she prayed. Keep her safe from harm. As Ada and her friend were tied up and about to be sacrificed, Ada remembered her mother's prayers. She realized that she should have listened to her mother's warnings. God, please help me, Ada prayed. I'm sorry for disobeying my parents. Please save me. Uche began to chant in devilish language. He chanted and called on dark forces to aid him. But as Uche was about to complete the enchantment, a sudden power outrage occurred. The dark forces that Uche had summoned began to turn against him. Ada and her friends took advantage of the distraction to escape. They ran out of the mansion, screaming for help. They were chased by Uche's friends, but they didn't give up. They kept running until they reached the main road. As they ran, they saw a car driving by. It was a good Samaritan, a kind-hearted man who saw their distress and stopped to help. Please help us. The man quickly called the police and stayed with them until they arrived. The police arrested Uche and his friends, and took Ada and her friends to safety. Uche and his friends were charged with human trafficking and ritual sacrifice. They were sentenced to life in prison, and their mansion was seized by the government. Ada and her friends were traumatized by their experience, but they were grateful to be alive. They received counseling and support from their families and friends. Ada's ex-mother was overjoyed to be reunited with her daughter. She thanked God for answering her prayers and keeping Ada safe. I'm glad you learned a valuable lesson about the importance of prayer and obedience, she said. Ada hugged her mother tightly. Mom, I'm sorry for disobeying you, she said. I promise to always listen to you and seek God's guidance from now on. Ada's mother, knowing that the experience had left emotional scars, continued to pray for Ada's healing and growth, and encouraged her to share her story with others to warn them about the dangers of ritual sacrifice, disobedience, and not being prayerful. Years later, Ada became an advocate against human trafficking and ritual sacrifice. She shared her story with others, using her experience to warn them about the dangers of following bad friends and the importance of prayer and obedience.